John Kavakis here for My Take in Form 43. Today I'm going to talk to you about Inver Model's last Austin model. It's an Austin Coupe. First I want to talk to you a little bit about Austin motor cars. They were made in Great Britain, England from 1929 through 1934. They were doing pretty good. It was a small economy car, perfect for navigating the narrow roads of Europe, very frugal as far as gas mileage was concerned. But in the middle of the 30s, we were in the middle of a worldwide depression. There was war looming on the horizon in Europe. England knew that they would be involved at some point. And like a whole lot of other companies, Austin went bankrupt in 1935. Well, in 1938 and 39, an American company formed thinking that there was potential for these small cars in the United States. So we had the Austin American Company, sometimes called the Bantam Motor Company. So they started producing cars in 1939. They went through 1941, made about 6,000 cars or so. You might recognize the name Bantam because they were credited with designing the first American Army Jeep. So they're kind of legendary. But the cars themselves were amazing little cars. Came in a variety of styles. There were sedans, there were coupes, there were woody wagons. They even had some trucks. Had a total 76-inch wheelbase. These are small cars. This is what it looks like standing next to an average-sized man. So you can see they're fairly diminutive, but they were made to be small. 747 cubic inch engine, about 747 cc engine, about 46 cubic inches. They got 40 miles a gallon, which was just amazing back in that time. Had a 50-mile-an-hour top speed. Some people thought they might be able to do 70. I would imagine that's downhill with a healthy tailwind. But they only weighed about 120 pounds. The motor made 14 horsepower. It didn't need a whole lot. It wasn't intended to be a fast car. It wasn't intended to be a luxurious car. It was basic, well-made transportation. So Peter Knoll of Inver Models, he started a company in Scotland specializing in architectural models and in commercial models. He's had a passion for Austin cars. He still has his mother's first car, which was an Austin 7. He cobbled together another Austin 7 during his time and got to know some of the people in the Austin Motor Club, became aware of the Bantams over the United States. He was kind of off to the races. So he's a lifelong Austin Bantam enthusiast. And his company, while being very successful, he decided to make 1/43 models of the Bantam of the Austin 7 in the company's downtime, which was relatively sparse. So there's not a lot of downtime, and that's one of the reasons we haven't seen a lot of Austins, and that comes into play with how Austin is going to go forward. So he decided to make the last batch. You can see they're well packaged. Great little box here. It's got the Inver Models logo on the front. And inside, let's get our first look. There's a scroll. It's a scroll. And let's see, what is this? This is Inver Models, kind of a statement of being. Might be making more different types of models in the future. And then we have an information page on the 1930 Austin, American Austin Coupe. So here it is. This is well packed, isolated. You can see it's suspended in there between two pieces of foam. And here's the car. Again, in 1/43, even in 1/43, you can tell that this is a relatively small vehicle. We'll take a look at it, get it on the turntable, and I couldn't find color chips for this particular color of blue, so I'm going to go along with what pictures I've been able to find, and this seems to be accurate. The cloth roof is picked up very nicely. Lensing is excellent. The bumpers are simple, but seem to be very true to what the regular bumpers were on the 1/1 car. The wheels are very nicely replicated. They're plain, nice centerpiece. There's a very minute Austin badge on the front of the radiator. The radiator cap is picked out very nicely. Door handles are separate. The rear, the spare tire in the rear is nicely suspended, and you can actually see inside the interior. Thank you, Peter, for keeping the passenger and driver's side windows down so we can see how well you've done the interior. So this is a nice model. There's not a lot of trim to it, but what trim is there from the pictures that I've seen seems to be faithful. It's very delicate, very well applied, and even has some depth to it. I've heard that these models were little jewels. I've only seen one before. Apparently this is my last chance to see another one live, last chance to have one in my collection. I'm proud to have it. Now, Peter doesn't have any more models left. He only made 30 of these, and 30 in green and 30 in blue. They sold out rather quickly to previous customers, but I contacted Peter this afternoon. He has one brown Boulevard, which is a panel van, available. And if you don't have an Austin, you ought to contact him. You can find him on Inver Models on the internet and grab that one. If you do have one, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You're probably racing there right now. So let's move on to the rating. It's not an elaborately designed car, so there's not a whole lot of detail, but what detail there is in the original car, he's picked this out. Now, I've had a few people ask me, what am I comparing these to? They're always compared to the 1.1. I can't compare fidelity to another model. I've got to compare it to the 1.1. So this is my take on what the rating is for this. Fidelity, I'm going to give it a 5. Trim and badging, the luster of the chrome, the placement of the trim, realism of the badges, and the dimensionality, I'm going to give that a 5 as well. Color, 5. Interior detail, 5. There's not a lot there, but it is faithfully replicated. Wheels and tires, I'm giving them a 5. They're just beautifully done and almost exact replicas of what I see on the 1.1. And so that brings my value. I'm got all 5s on everything. It brings value to a 5. Sells for somewhere around £100 if you can find one. They have almost doubled in value on the secondary market. And that makes the overall My Take rating a 5. Now, you know, I try to be discriminate about how many models get a 5. This one, I think, is worthy of it. Those who have them on their shelves know exactly what I'm talking about. If you don't have one, race to get that last one. Hey, thanks for joining me. If you like the video, do me a favor. Right below there, would you click the thumbs up button, the like button, and I'd appreciate some comments too. And if you can, subscribe to my channel. I've got more videos coming. Thank you.